The funny thing about how the Niners are framing this whole unprecedented situation with Trey Lance, like the first top 10 quarterback pick ever who didn't get 20-something starts, Jamarcus Russell got 20-something starts, is that, look, it doesn't matter how much the Niners gave up for him. It doesn't matter where they took him in the draft. They were just on the pursuit of a franchise quarterback, and they found one in the darndest place. They found one where they weren't looking. It's Brock Purdy. And so, pretend you gave up all this draft capital on him, forget Trey Lance, focus on the future. Do you think that's a fair position?
Let me rephrase it for me, how I understand it. We're into what year with Trey Lance?
3.
This is third year.
Yeah.
They gave up 3. They moved up and gave up 3 firsts for him. The way I'm asking it is that still an issue? Is it still an issue on June 27th, 2023, that they gave up all of that for this kid who may even be the third string quarterback now? Or is it so far in the rearview mirror that it doesn't count anymore? What do you think, Iggy?
I think it counts.
Why?
I think it's always going to count. Even in retrospect, in hindsight, you could always say, well, I've said it earlier. Would they have won a Super Bowl if they hadn't made this trade? It's a fair question. I mean, you just burned 3 first-round picks on fire, threw them away.
Yeah.
I mean, those are really valuable. You were this close to winning a Super Bowl the last 2 years, or getting to a Super Bowl. What if you'd had one more great player? First-round picks. What if you gotten that right? Would you won, even with Jimmy?
If you could, if you used them on the right side of the offensive line, it might have made a big difference.
Yeah, it seems like with this defense and these weapons that this team theoretically could win a Super Bowl with a non-elite quarterback, the way certain teams have, if you could just protect them. But they don't. They don't. And they ask these quarterbacks to protect themselves, and only really special quarterbacks can do that. So despite having the best defense and the best weapons, they have a quarterback issue.
So what you're saying is, although this thing with Trey Lance happened 3 years ago, in a way, it's not a knock on Trey Lance. He didn't tell him where to draft him.
Right.
It's still a knock on it's still current news. It's still an issue for the 49ers.
Yeah, and it's also an issue because it'd be one thing if they traded 3 firsts for him, played him 25 games like the Raiders did with Jamarcus, and were like, man, this guy sucks. I don't know what to do. Like, that'd be one thing. Say, look, you just got it wrong. But to trade up, never play him, and then bury him without really getting a good look at him, that's unprofessional. It's just unprofessional. And you're doing it because you think you have a franchise quarterback in Brock Purdy. He's not Justin Herbert. He's not Joe Burrow. I mean, he's obviously much more limited than them, and he's coming off a serious surgery, and now you've shut down the search for another quarterback or the development of another quarterback because you got Brock? I'm sorry. It's not... I'm not convinced that Brock Purdy is a franchise quarterback and you can just say, look, we're okay throwing away for 3 first-round picks. We got our guy.
Yeah, so the Trey Lance issue is very much an issue. And it's not him as a player particularly. It was the judgment of the organization. And now they're trying to sort of bury the issue, bury it. Oh, we got our guy. We're moving ahead. But in fact, I think this administration, as long as it lasts, an asterisk was going to be, look what they did getting Trey Lance. Look what they did, and look what they gave up, and look what they may have had a Super Bowl if they didn't do it.
Right, and that's the distinction. A lot of teams have gotten it wrong at quarterback. Like every team gets it wrong at quarterback. It's a tough one, but to trade up that much, mortgage that much of your future, never give the guy a real look. Teams don't do that. That's a first. That is so unprofessional, and that you can't say the Niners are a bad organization because they got a quarterback wrong. A lot of teams do that, but you can say, man, what kind of organization does this? Yeah. You guys do a lot right, but what kind of organization does this? I'm sorry. No organization.
And it also makes you think, if they screwed the whole thing up with Trey Lance, who's to say they're going to get it right with Brock Purdy?
Exactly.
Where is the track record of working this stuff out?
Yeah.
Last year, Jimmy had to save their ass, and they didn't even want Jimmy. Correct.
Jimmy was the bridge. No one talks about the Jimmy portion of last season, but that was crucial.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not here anymore.
They were in the situation of, would somebody please save our ass? Because we don't know what to do.
Right, and it was Jimmy.
I mean, that really happened.
That really did happen, yes. And that's the Niners' plan at quarterback. Hey, would someone please save our ass for a month or two?
And then save it again after the guy gets hurt.
Right. And then they say that, the guy just needs to work on staying healthy. Thanks. Anyway, I don't think they can ever run from this investment.
No, I don't think so either.
It was a bad trade to begin with. You don't trade this much for a college player. You don't trade 3 years worth of first round picks for a college player, for not the first pick in the draft, for a guy with 300 throws in college, on a team that needs to win right away. It never made any sense. And the fact that they didn't give him a chance just shows him what a stupid idea it was to begin with.
I think that's a very good summary.
And I don't think the Niners get credit. People say, well, they found Brock Purdy, so no harm, no foul. No. We don't know what they found in Brock Purdy. We don't know if they would have won a Super Bowl the last couple of years if they had some other players besides Trey Lance. They really royally screwed this. Royally.
Yeah.
Royally.
And I'm not sure they found Brock Purdy. They sort of stumbled over him. He was lying dead in the parking lot, and they stumbled over him, and they said, could you come back to life? We need you. That was about how astute they were.